YouTube, what the heck's going on today, guys? It is Rick here, and today we're talking trade deadline. One of the most important weeks of the year. It just ended, and the thing that's so important about the trade deadline is those teams trying to win the World Series, they're trying to solidify that lineup. Those bottom of the barrel teams are trying to get rid of some veterans, steal some prospects from those better teams, and try to win in 3, 4, 5 years from now. So that's how it should go. That's how it should go. But there's a lot of teams that find themselves in that middle ground of, I don't know what the heck they're doing. Like, they think they're going to win, but there's no shot of winning. And then they don't really rebuild. And so it's weird. Let's just talk about it, guys. I'm going to fly through all these trades that happened during this trade deadline. We're going to skip through into most of the good ones, but we'll see them all here. So starting off, this is kind of important because the Mets are going to try to win it all. They went and got Vogelbach. Nothing special with him. You know what you're getting. A big bat that can hit a tank at any time. I think you're probably going to use him for pitch hitting situations or DH. It just matters on what arm's on the bump, if it's a good situation, that kind of thing. Got rid of a prospect. Andrew Benintendi to the Yankees was a big one. They really needed consistency in their lineup, and he's going to bring consistency. He's always done that while he's been in the league. He's a very consistent hitter. Never really lived up to the hype that I thought he was going to have, and I think a lot of people kind of feel that way, but they really need something in that lineup that's just going to be like, even if he hits 270, it's like, that's better than everyone else hitting below 230. So there's a lot of iffiness in that lineup, if you were to ask me. You talk to Yankees fans, it's their year to win it. I don't see how they win it with that lineup, but they do have some big arms, and obviously Aaron Judge is trying to hit like 70 home runs, so... They didn't really get rid of anything either to get Benintendi, which these guys are just big arms, big statured guys. So maybe it'll work out for Kansas City long term, but it is what it is. Tyler Naquin and Philip Deal. I don't know how this guy's in the MLB. Like, literally has an 8 ERA, terrible left-handed pitcher. And they actually Cincinnati did a great job. They got some really good prospects in these two. I actually looked these guys up, and Hector Rodriguez rakes, and Jose Acuna is a very solid pitcher. So Mets just trying to get depth with Tyler. I'm assuming they kind of just try to grab something else in the deal that could maybe help them in this World Series run, because they legit have a chance anytime Max or DeGrom came back today, and he looked lights out already, hitting 102 with his fastball. That guy's just different, man. He is just crazy. So next, we have like the first mind-blowing thing of the trade deadline. It was like, what the heck was Seattle doing here? Like, obviously, it's great to get Luis Castillo. He's a great top of the order or top of the rotation guy, like either 1 or 2 typically. But you got rid of your entire farm system. What are they doing? Like, they aren't here to win now. Like, just honestly, they aren't. Like, yes, they've had a couple of good winning streaks. They can beat some team. Like, it's baseball. Anyone can win on any given night, and they have a solid lineup. But, like, if you just waited, like, another year or two, you could have got these guys, a couple of these guys in your lineup, and really would have been pushing for, like, top team in the league. So, I don't know. They just sold it, in my opinion. I hate that trade. St. Louis was just trying to get a bullpen arm in this one. Got rid of Sosa, who doesn't really play for him much anymore. Nothing too deep here. Dodgers just wanted to get another arm in Chris Martin. Sent him over a prospect. Shout out to David Peralta. Got my Goldie jersey on today, but David Peralta is one of the best D-backs of all time. Fan favorite. Obviously, he's never like been a great player, but if you guys didn't know, he was a pitcher at the beginning. Came back, independent ball, like great story. He ended up having a very successful MLB career so far. Really good guy. I've met him a couple times, and my wife's favorite player. So I just want to give a quick shout out to David Peralta. Hope he does great with Tampa Bay, but I am pissed at what we got for him. Like, David's always he's won a Gold Glove, which I thought he didn't deserve, in my opinion. He's a solid outfielder, not a really good outfielder. Christian Serta is a terrible catcher. I don't know what the heck their plan is with him. I really don't. It's literally like they're trying to win the lottery with him. I don't know. San Francisco, this trade just doesn't make sense on either side, in my opinion. I really, did they just want to like be relevant? I don't know. The Cubs pissed me off in this one. It's like, what the heck are you doing? I just don't get it. Well, they got lucky because, in my opinion, I don't know why they were trying to get rid of Wilson and Happ. I mean, you can probably get Happ back on like a reasonable contract and just pay Wilson. He's literally the best overall catcher in the MLB right now. Like, just pay the guy. It's really not hard. I'm telling you, just pay him. So, Cubs, we will get into you again later, I'm sure, because you guys did a few different bonehead mistakes, in my opinion. But they didn't really do anything bad in that trade. It's just kind of pointless. Another one here, kind of pointless in my opinion. Nothing too much happened in that one. Yankees wanted to go get an arm, and they traded a prospect. Nothing special here. Our first big one that was a very big surprise. When you saw San Diego do this, you knew they were going to be doing some other crazy stuff. So, Josh Hader is now a San Diego Padre, and the guy is legitimately the best left-handed arm in baseball for one inning. So you can't hate them because they don't have a very good closing system in that, like, they didn't have a good closer. So they went and fixed that, and they're hoping that they can win it this year. And you knew something else was going to happen, which obviously everyone knows it happened already, but we'll get to that one later. They just gave up a bunch of prospects. Nothing too crazy for a top end arm. So it's just kind of weird in my opinion. I don't think San Diego's ready to win yet. Like, they have a really good lineup, but I don't think that they can. I mean, with that lineup, I guess you can win any day, but like they were like on the edge, like of like they could win the first playoff series. I don't know if they can win the National League Championship Series. I don't know if they can win that. Dodgers, they went and got Jermaine, whatever his name is, Tapia. I guess they just want another outfielder. I don't know. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. Obviously, they're disappointed in how Bellinger is doing right now. So I think they're just trying to fill in some spots where they can, where maybe certain situations they can kind of throw a couple of people in certain ways. Next, we have the Yankees. The Yankees, actually, this is their second trade they did very good on, and they didn't really get rid of too much. They got rid of some solid prospects in this one, but like they didn't have to get rid of any of the big ones, and Frankie is super underrated. I don't really think too much of Trevino. I think he's but getting Frankie is actually a huge upgrade for them, and the Yankees are going to try to win this year. It is what it is. You know, they try to win almost every year, but I think Cashman actually did a great job at this deadline. Next, we have Trey Mancini just getting absolutely disrespected. Hopefully he can go win in Houston or something because he deserves it. He stuck around through some terrible times in Baltimore. Not like he had a choice not to, but he's been a very consistent hitter for them. Obviously, he had the whole cancer thing. Dude's a beast, honestly, for going through all that and still being like a 270 hitter, 260 hitter. He's usually closer to like 280, 290, but Baltimore was just getting good. So they went and got some more prospects, and then Jose Siri just got sent over to Tampa Bay. I'm pissed at Baltimore for this. Maybe they'll re-sign him in free agency or something, but I don't know. It kind of didn't really make a whole lot of sense. I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. Houston's trying to win, obviously, though. That's a great pickup for Houston. Another one, Houston went and got Vasquez, fixes that hole that they have at catcher. I mean, I don't know who they ended up getting here, but Red Sox, what are you? I'm just confused with what they're doing. Like, the Red Sox aren't that far off winning. Like, they're a solid team. They have a really good lineup. Devers is a beast. I mean, Bogarts is a beast. I mean, they have a lot of potential in that lineup. But I just don't get it, because look at the next trade. You went out and got Tommy Pham, who at one point was really good. Now he's like just like your mediocre outfielder. But like, you got rid of someone that's mediocre. And Christian Vasquez. Someone will probably tell me he's not mediocre. He's pretty mediocre. Tommy Pham, pretty mediocre. So what are you doing here? I just don't get it. It is what it is, I guess. This one really pissed me off as a D-backs fan. Luke Weaver was the pinnacle of that Goldie trade. I have my Goldie jersey on right now. He was the pinnacle of that trade. He really hasn't performed great for us. He is great for every inning except for one when he pitches. Like, he just has one blow up inning. It's like Patrick Corbin, other than the year that he did he end up winning Cy Young? But he ended up getting a big contract from the Nationals because of how much talent he had. But Luke Weaver's kind of that same guy. Like, he has a ton of talent, but he just gets blown up for one inning. It's super confusing and frustrating as a fan. But like, we got nothing for him. We got rid of Goldie for Luke Weaver, and we get Emmanuel Rivera, a terrible third baseman. It is what it is. Dykman went to Chicago. They're trying to fill up their bullpen a little bit. Got rid of Reese McGuire. Nothing too crazy there. Another one, it's like, Boston, I'm just confused. I really am. St. Louis went out and got Jose Quintana. But can we just talk about Jose Quintana for a second? He was like the guy at one point. And now he's like, we'll kind of just brush it under the rug. Maybe he can find it for them in the playoffs because obviously he has the stuff. But it's just, he's gone through a weird path. And then they got some prospects over there. Nothing too crazy, but St. Louis is trying to win. They're trying to win now. And respectfully, I thought they did a pretty good one on that one. Maybe Jose can come in and do some damage for him. Atlanta got Jake Odorizzi. Odorizzi. I'm so bad with his name for some reason. There's a few names on this list I'm not great with, so I apologize for that. They got rid of Will Smith. Will Smith is a solid back of the rotation arm for Houston, which they kind of needed to improve on, especially a left-handed one, which they really needed. But I think both teams kind of just break even on that one. Nothing too special with him. It is what it is. Robbie Grossman to Atlanta as well to get rid of left-handed pitcher for Detroit. Prospect. I don't think Robbie, I think they just kind of got rid of him to see what they could get for him, I guess. That's all it was at the end of the day. And Atlanta said, you know what? We can win. So let's just get more depth and he can hit some tanks every once in a while. Next, we have Jorge Lopez going to Minnesota. And they got a bunch of prospects back for him. So in Baltimore. So each team makes sense, kind of. Minnesota is one of those teams where I'm like, they're not really ready to win. The only reason there's a chance of winning that division is because they're super underperforming. So, you know, it is what it is, I guess. But I thought Baltimore did good. They got more prospects. They're not winning anytime soon. But you give them 4 years from now, like, unfortunately, it's the same timetable as D-backs because they're both drafting 1 and 2 in every draft. But it's going to be interesting to see where the Baltimore ends up. Would love to see them take down the Yankees in that division eventually. Then we have the biggest trade of the trade deadline, guys. This one is very confusing to me in the fact that San Diego came out on top of this one because the nice thing for San Diego is they do have like 2.5 years of control on Juan Soto. And then you get Josh Bell as well. But you just shipped out some of the best talent in the minor leagues along with Susana, or however you say his name. CJ Abrams is an absolute monster. Assel is a beast. Mackenzie Gore was like the number 4 prospect in baseball at one point. And James Wood is a beast. So I'm like, they just destroyed their whole farm system to get Juan Soto and Josh Bell, which obviously makes that lineup even more stacked. And like one of the better lineups in the MLB, to be honest. But like, are they going to beat the Dodgers? They could. They really need their pitchers to overperform for them to win a series against the Dodgers. But I don't know, man. I feel like they did this a little too soon. Obviously, anytime you can get Juan Soto on your team with a little bit of control, it's not the end of the world. But like CJ Abrams, he's hitting like 270 since coming back to the major league. So it's weird. Just really weird in my opinion. Toronto did a good job here. They got Anthony Bass, who is a nice arm for the Miami organization. And I've heard good things about this Jordan Groshans guy. I've heard really good things. So I think they both kind of did what they're supposed to do here. Miami knows they're not winning, so let's build something up. And then Toronto's should be trying to win now. I think it's more of like trying to win in like next year maybe. But we'll see what they end up doing. They obviously can hit themselves into some wins because their lineup has crazy power. Next, we have the Dodgers getting Joey Gallo. You know, the Dodgers just see opportunity, and they saw Joey Gallo worth nothing. And this is where the Dodgers absolutely annoy the crap out of me. It's like they gave up Clayton Beeter. Nobody knows. And you got Joey Gallo, who is obviously having a horrible year, needed some change. But, like, who says he doesn't go to the Dodgers and just get red hot? Like, we've seen Joey Gallo go through those months where he just goes nuts. There is a legitimate situation where it could be Dodgers, Yankees in the World Series, and Joey Gallo hits a walk-off home run against the Yankees, where he was absolutely hated this year. It would be interesting. He's going to grow with a beard back. Maybe the power will come back with it. I don't know. I hate it because I'm a D-backs fan, but, you know, I don't think it was a low-risk, high-reward kind of situation. And they want, obviously, the Dodgers, the Dodgers are my front runner to win it all. If they don't win it all, it's a giant disappointment. Then This one was weird. It was like Eric Hosmer like had to leave in this trade for Juan Soto, and so he ended up going to the Red Sox, which I thought he was going to go to the Cubs, which I was excited for. But like now I'm just once again confused with like what Boston's doing. Why would Boston go help them out for Jay Groom, who is very mediocre, I believe. Like he's kind of been in the minor leagues for a while. Nothing special, like a 4 ERA in the minors. Kind of confused. Obviously, San Diego just wanted to get rid of something, but I guess Boston was just like, hey, we'll be the third guy in this and just reap the benefits. Eric Hosmer obviously has never lived up to his contract, but he's still a solid hitter. And then you get Max Ferguson and Corey Roser. Next, Brandon Marsh to Philadelphia. Makes absolutely no sense to me. Brandon Marsh is like the most mediocre player in the MLB. Hits like 220 with like 8 home runs or something this year. So I don't know what Philadelphia is trying to gain with that. Maybe they just needed someone that's like MLB talent because Bryce Harper's still hurt, but he should be coming back here pretty soon, I would assume. But it is what it is. This one is just stupid. Another one where I'm like, Minnesota, you're not ready to win yet. We already talked about that. You went out and got a guy that's like a 4 ERA through his career. He's solid, obviously. Like he's rotationable. But you got rid of some ginormous prospects. I know because my brother literally came up to me last week and was like, hey, Christian and Carcion Strand went to Yavapai, which is right up north of here. I played him in college, and he hit a ton of tanks there, and he's absolutely mashing the ball there. And I was like, oh, that's cool that you found him. That's sick. We always love seeing guys like that went to schools that we played against. But like, let's just pull him up real quick. Just pull him up real quick, guys. He is hitting 302 with 25 home runs in Double-A. What are you doing? Someone explain. Oh, you guys can't see it because my camera's in the way. But like 25 home runs, 85 RBIs. What are they doing? Trying to get this in a spot where you guys can see it. What are they doing? So confusing. He ended up going to Oklahoma State and he raked there too. But like for a guy with I got his stats here because I wanted to make sure. 4.4 ERA to get rid of a giant 20-year-old prospect. I'm just confused. I truly am. Cincinnati, you did a great job on that one. Oh my God. Philadelphia went and got David Robertson. He's been in the MLB forever, it feels like now. I think he's like 37. Solid arm. Didn't really get rid of much in Ben Brown from what I could tell. And I guess they're trying to win now. I don't think Philadelphia can win now. I just don't think the rotation's strong enough. Mets went and got Darren Ruff. Really confused on that. Another very mediocre player. Never really done anything. I think they really just wanted to like get rid of some like borderline MLB minor league guys and just create some space for bringing in all these guys they just traded for. I think that's literally the only thing I can think of. So maybe he's going to get released. I don't know. San Diego, Brandon Drury's having a great season for them. He's going to go play third base for because they have Manny Machado though. Maybe second base then because he has to play a little bit of second base. But I'm very interested to see what they do with him because another D-back, failed D-back, which I loved Brandon Drury when he was with the D-backs. I thought he had a very good approach, really solid swing, and he's finally reaping the benefits of it in Cincinnati. And so I don't think they really got rid of too much in Victor Acosta. I don't know about him, so I'm just making that up. But they got Brandon Drury. Good pickup for San Diego. Honestly, they killed it. If they can somehow win this year, this would be the greatest trade deadline of all time. But I don't know if they can still win. The Dodgers got rid of Jake Lamb for cash to Seattle. I think that was kind of just like sending them home because obviously another D-back guy in Jake Lamb. Disappointment, obviously, if you've been around Ryan's channel long enough. Rake Lamb back in the MLB The Show days. Jake Lamb, he was an all-star at one point, and now he sucks. But he's from Seattle, so probably has something that he wanted to go there, I'm sure. Baltimore went and picked up Brett Phillips. Very good utility, like outfielder. He's an amazing pitcher when you're down 20. He only gives up tanks. I just don't get it. They got him for cash, so it is what it is. They released him, or DFA'd him. Then we have Minnesota when it got Fulmer. He obviously is in the bullpen now, which has been very good. I mean, he's had great stuff his whole career. So Minnesota's going to try to win. I mean, they did some good stuff, but they also did some stuff to really screw them over long term, which I think they have a lot better chance with. So it is what it is. got rid of a prospect to Detroit. Next, we have Philadelphia getting Noah Syndergaard, aka Thor, and got rid of Mickey and TBD. I don't remember who that extra guy used to be, but Philadelphia's trying to win. I don't think they're ready, like I was saying, but I mean, Noah's having a solid year. I don't think he's living up to what we always thought he was going to be. We thought he was DeGrom when he first came up, but this year he has a 3.83. Can't really go wrong with that on a very bad team. So he'll probably go over there, keep putting up solid numbers. Jordan Montgomery to St. Louis for Harrison Bader has to be one of the most confusing trades I have ever seen. Why do you need another outfield in the Yankees that is just like mediocre? Are they looking for a base runner? Like legitimately? Like they're that thinking that they're that good this year, the Yankees, that they're going to be like, we need a base runner in Game 7 of the World Series or the NLCS or whatever you end up in. Like, we need a base runner, because that's literally all I see in this trade. But they got rid of Jordan Montgomery, who's been very solid. So St. Louis won that trade, in my opinion. Then you have Whit Merrifield to Toronto. Interesting. He's having a pretty down year. They're probably just hoping that they can like reboot him, because obviously 2 years ago he was like an all-star. So we'll see what ends up happening. Got a few prospects back for Kansas City. They did a good job trying to just build up that farm system. Atlanta went and got the closer from the Angels in Iglesias and sent some prospects over. Iglesias has like a 4 ERA this year, so nothing special, but he has gotten a lot of saves over the past 4 or 5 years. So very, very solid piece there for Atlanta that I'm guessing they got because they got rid of Will Smith. So interesting. And then the last but not least, they got Cam Gallagher and Brent Rooker. Not even worth talking about. But that is it, guys. Some very interesting things. I'm so confused still with, like, it's kind of sad to say because, like, my mom's from Minnesota. So I've always kind of, like, rooted for Minnesota teams a little bit. Like, I'm a full-on Vikings fan. But, like, what the heck were the Twins doing in this? And then my dad's from Seattle. What the heck are Seattle doing in it? It's confusing. So, like, those are two teams I'm like, you hope do well, you know? I'm not, like, a fan of them. But I'm like, oh, they're doing good. Nice. No idea what they're doing. Like, those were just weird moves. I don't get it. And then the Cubs ended up keeping the two guys that they were rumored about trading. Just go keep them. Sign Wilson. It's easy. Keep Hap. Sign him to a smaller contract. I guess he was an all-star this year, but like he's never been consistent. So like it's not going to be too expensive. Sign him. They're apparently trying to win next year. I don't know what their plan is on doing that, but. And then, obviously, the biggest winner of this I want to talk about has got to be San Diego if they can win this year. I still don't think they can beat the Dodgers, but you never know. That lineup can mash. So, if they find themselves in some Dodgers bad luck in the playoffs, we love to hear it and see it. Maybe they can do something. But other than that, everyone kind of just did what you expected, building up some depth for the playoff runs like the Mets, and the Yankees did a great job. So, yeah. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you guys did enjoy today's MLB trade deadline talk, make sure you drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel for my brother. And we're eventually going to rebrand this, I think we're kind of talking about. So that's a secret. I love you guys. Have a great rest of your day and peace out.